What's going on, people? It's Emmanuel for Altenor Media. Now, Insecure is finally back on TV for the third season. And now, we're going to be reviewing every episode this season. So please make sure to subscribe to the channel and check back with us every week, for the subsequent reviews. So now let's get into the review of episode 1 of season 3, which is titled Better-Like. So let's see how Issa and the crew is doing right now. Let me put my glasses on. So the season opens up with Issa and Daniel. Issa is staying in Daniel's apartment, as we saw from last season. And it opens up with Daniel getting it in his bedroom with somebody. Initially, we probably thought it was Issa that he was getting it in with, but we find out he's just, effing some random chick. And Issa is on the couch listening, and she can hear everything that's going on. So Issa picks up her car keys and she heads out. We're thinking that she's trying to get away from, whatever Daniel's doing, but Issa is actually a damn Lyft driver. She's doing Lyft on the side to try to save money to, get out of Daniel's hair. She was also trying to, not hear what Daniel was doing, but she's going to work. She's doing that Lyft. So we cut to Molly. Now Molly, on the other hand, is on an island, soaking in that sun. She got a little thing going on with some dude she met on the island. She got tropical drinks. She got palm trees all around her. She's on the beach. So it really just shows the contrast between where Molly is in her life and her career and where Issa is. Because Issa is on somebody's couch doing Lyft while Molly is just, enjoying her life on the island. So they're best friends, but they're in just two completely different spaces right now. So we get to another scene where Issa is, how Issa loves looking in the mirror and talking to herself, hyping herself up. But Daniel has no mirror in the medicine cabinet, so she can't even do that. So she looks off to the side into some barber type mirror, and then Daniel just busts in the bathroom. Well, he didn't bust in, but he opened the door on her, and she basically had to get out. So it just shows that the lack of privacy that she even has, because she's in somebody else's space. And now Issa asks Daniel if he knew that she was home, because he was getting it in and he was pretty loud, and Daniel was like nah, and then he just walked in the bathroom. He just seemed unbothered by the whole situation. So this was a little bit of tension between the two of them, which is interesting, because Daniel is usually really caring when it comes to Issa. He's really listening to her, listening to her feelings. But now he just looks like he doesn't give a damn in this scene right here. So now Issa's job now. Issa is she's officially on desk duty now. So she's not in the field anymore, and she's miserable. She hates it. And now Frida has a new position now. And Issa is trying to get Frida to help her get back, out in the field. But Frida is like, she's not trying to rock the boat. She's not trying to risk her new position to help Issa out. So she's like, for now, at least you on your own. So Frida, white lady, she looking out for herself. Issa, you got to figure it out on your own. What else we got here? Did y'all see the woman in the studio with the damn plastic pants on? What the hell was that? Like, that shit was just looking crazy. That's some shit straight out of a Bad Boys 90 video. So anyway, Issa picks up Molly from the airport, official Lyft ride, which is interesting. How she's just giving her best friend a Lyft ride, so she's picking her up from the airport, making a few changes. Issa and Molly go to lunch. They're talking, and then once again, because she's talking about how, you know, it's a little hard to live with Daniel, and Molly's like, why don't you stay with me again? And then Issa's like, nah. And then we find out that Issa stayed with her once before, but, you know, it didn't work out because a vase ended up getting broken, and then Molly thought it was Issa who did it. Issa said it was broken already when they got there. So you could see that even though they're best friends, you know, they ride or die for each other. They're like sisters. They can't live together. So it's not always that simple, you know, just because Molly is making money and she has that huge apartment. You know, Issa can't just go and live with her. Issa can't just borrow money from her. You know, there's always boundaries. Even them two as best friends, they have established boundaries, and I guess that helps keep their friendship tight. But I think it's still crazy that they're basically sisters and they can't live together. And Issa's basically, she got no paper at all. It's kind of crazy, but I guess that's how some relationships, some people gotta do it. It's kind of crazy though. And Molly, she's looking really in control this season. She got all her dudes in check. She said the dude from the island, he tried to visit her in LA, but she's like, nah, you need to stay over there in the islands. You know, you're my island joint. And she's saying, she mentioned the preacher body dude, Quentin. He tried to do the long distance thing, but she said you need to stay in Chicago. And now Joe, she's trying to really keep it just, you know, just effing. That's it. She don't want nothing else. So Molly's looking real in control this season. And again, it just shows how much more in control of her life and her career she is than Issa. Such a huge difference. We saw Bill Bellamy, Maxine Shaw from Living Single, and Ron Johnson. Insecure always has these little shows, or like these little fake shows. So they doing a little show. So it was good seeing all three of them, you know, together. They had the little Kaepernick scene, you know, which was real cool. So Daniel goes to his sister's house, and his sister, you know, kind of brings up that, you know, him and Issa may not be done. And Daniel was like, you know, I think he says that chapter is closed. So this scene lets us know that Daniel he's still really into Issa. You know, it's a difference from the earlier part of the episode where he just seemed like he didn't give a damn, but seems like he's just putting up a front because he knows Issa is playing games with him, and she is. Then we get to that scene where Joe is just eating Molly on that kitchen counter, and he ends up spending the night. And he wakes up, and then they're sleeping together, and he tells her he's about to make some pancakes. So they're looking like a real couple right now. But Molly, now she wants to establish real boundaries. Like, he's mad because Candace, his wife, calls, and that really, you know, that reminds her that, you know, this ain't real. You know, what they're doing, they got to establish some boundaries, in her opinion, because they're looking more like a couple, but he's married. So Molly is like, you got to go. She basically tells him, you got to get up and go. No more calls, no more dates. You know, if we just doing the thing, we just doing it, that's it. You know, it ends there, which I think is a little weird because they grew up together and they're close friends. So you're basically cutting off that friendship because, you know, y'all fucking or something, which is kind of crazy on her part to do that. So she's basically choosing that over their friendship, that's kind of messed up. Alright, so we back to Issa's job. So Issa calls the bunch of different schools that canceled on them. And then she finds out that they basically canceled because there isn't enough black representation. Especially since Issa's no longer in the field, the people that they are sending out are just white people. They're probably out of touch. You know, the whole curriculum doesn't have, you know, the black eye on it. So it just ain't working. So Issa brings that to the attention of her boss, and her boss basically tells her to go sit your ass down. You know, you done enough. Her boss ain't even trying to hear her. And again, Frida just sitting there, she minded her damn business. She not trying to rock the boat. Like she said, Issa is on her own. So, but here, Issa's right here. She's exactly right. But her boss isn't even trying to hear her. So these people are really so much out of touch. But again, it just shows how far down Issa's life has spiraled. Where in this position, she's exactly right, and that they need her out in the field, but ain't nobody listening to her. So we're gonna keep an eye out and see how that develops with that whole story. Oh, then we get the Party Lyft. Now this was a nice little fun scene with the Party Lyft where they're turning it up. You know, they get the two friends in there. The two friends are wilding. They get the Capri Sun. And then they pick up the other dude. And then this other dude goes on a ride with them. And then they're thinking they're about to pick up another dude and set it off. But they end up picking up, you know, this big dude who's like, he's a little out there. So it ends up going left. He starts smoking in there. In the car, Issa's telling him not to, and then him and that other dude, they start going at it. Everything going crazy. They spill out into the street, and then that dude, he runs off. So that whole situation was crazy, but that party Lyft was cool. It was cool. What else we got here? And we see Dro first Dro, he let himself into Molly's apartment. This dude has a key to her apartment. How Molly's talking about all this, we just need to, you know, keep it just, you know, what we doing, but you gave this dude a key to your damn apartment. And now she takes the key back, and she officially lets him know that, you know, we gotta establish some real boundaries. And then she mentions what him and his wife are doing, and Dro snaps. He's like, you know, first of all, don't worry about what me and my wife is doing. You need to decide what you want. So basically she sends him off. And then Dro got that weird ass haircut. I don't know what that is though. But now back to Issa and Daniel. They have a little discussion, a little talk about what's going on, and then Daniel tries to kiss Issa, but she backs off. She's telling him, you know, that's not what she's here for. You know, she's staying with him as a friend. So Issa really playing games with Daniel. You telling me, first of all, y'all got crazy history. He's the reason why you and Lawrence basically broke up. And, you know, he shot you in your eye last season. And now you think you're just moving in with him as a friend. You know, out of all the places you could have gone in, you moved in with him. You know, of course, Daniel himself, he's playing some games too. But he's basically reacting to Issa's attitude. You know, of course he's hitting chicks, you know, every night in the apartment, but he's doing it just as a reaction to the way Issa is. You know, because Issa can't say exactly what she wants, but he's doing her a solid by letting her stay with him, because he doesn't have to do that at all. He's letting her stay rent free. So, and she reveals to him that she does have a problem with him, you know, fucking other chicks in the apartment. So she has feelings for him. She doesn't want him to be, you know, doing crazy junk in the apartment, but she's not trying to get into it with him. She's not trying to be in a relationship with him right now. So you gotta decide what the hell you want, Issa. Like, what's going on with you? But and this was a really good first episode. I wouldn't say it was great, of course. You know, this episode was missing Lawrence. You know, I'm Lawrence Hive for life. Shout out to the Lawrence Hive out there. You know, but I hope they could really have a great season without Lawrence, but he is going to be missed, of course. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. And this episode we had no Kelli and, you know, the other friends, so we might get them next week. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this episode, first episode of season 3 of Insecure, in the comments. And please make sure to like the video, share the video, and once again subscribe to the channel Altenor Media, and ring that bell for notifications. You know, once again, I'm Emmanuel. Check back with us next week for the recap of episode 2. Peace.